The following is brought to you by Total Seal Piston Rings, the leader in ring seal technology. TotalSeal.com. Hello and welcome to the Total Seal Piston Rings end of the year review / holiday party. I'm Joe Costello, host of Hidden Horsepower, and today we're going out live to Total Seal Piston Rings. We are joined by the CEO, and we're joined by the Energizer Bunny, Matt Hartford, Lake Speed. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, guys. How are you? Welcome back.
I'm doing awesome. I think I gave you that name, the Energizer Bunny. You might have had it before me. No, but I certainly think I gave it to you.
You did it. That's you.
Yeah, no doubt. Hi, Joe. How are you?
I am very well, Matt. I'm very well, Lake. We are super excited. This is becoming a tradition now that we're doing all the live streaming and the podcasting, a chance to connect with partners, vendors, racers, anybody that's interested in all the content we've been putting out over the course of the year. A little final before Christmas get together to share some of the information and talk about the great things that happened in 2022. There were certainly a lot of them.
Yeah, one of the best things in 2022 is this is my first time in Lake Studio. I'm always in my office when we have this. I have never been in here before with a camera running.
Wow, that's
so Brian, who's been here forever, right? He built this, and it's incredible.
Yeah,
let's have a look. Well, you got all the collectible stuff. You got the computer there, obviously, old school. Now, where is this in Total Seal? This is upstairs, right? I've been there.
No, we're not telling you. No,
you're not telling me.
Undisclosed location in Phoenix, Arizona.
All right, in the bunker, aka the bunker. Lake just got back from PRI. Hartford was there, had the cars set up in the for a great cause. Obviously, a lot of attention brought into the booth. Just talk a little bit about the experience that was PRI.
I mean, it was fantastic. I mean, having the React for Racing, being part of that for PRI was fantastic. Now they raised a lot of money, created a lot of awareness for about the Save Our Race Cars campaign, that was the purpose, and I think it was definitely mission accomplished on that. When Steve Johnson was over there with Antron, that was about as classic as it could get, right? Because if there's somebody that has more energy than me, it's Steve Johnson, right?
Yeah. There is no doubt. Now, one of the other, really good moments was, Mr. Jerry Haas taking his truck and trailer and blowing through the security gate coming to pick up the car because he had waited for 3 or 4 hours to get in and they weren't letting any trucks in, but yet there was all these open parking spots. He finally just drove in and explained to him why he was driving in. So that was a classic moment.
That was after hours, but every bit as good. There's always great stories from the trade show. That was one of the better ones.
Yeah, no doubt.
He was a mad little German.
Yeah, he was something. It was. I thought PRI was probably one of the best shows we've ever been to. I didn't go the year before, and obviously with COVID the year before that, no one went. So coming back after not being there for 2 years, it was incredible. The amount of people there, the amount of customers that you've seen. Yeah. It was as busy of a show, I think, as I've ever seen, especially on Friday.
Oh, it was crazy. And the thing is, people were flocking to our booth like moths to a flame for what we got sitting behind us back here, Joe. It was incredible.
Yeah, let me jump in. Let me jump in real quick because before the moment passes. I did defeat Steve Johnson in the practice tree. That's very important for me to put out there publicly that I did beat Steve Johnson. This guy has won the U.S. Nationals twice. And part two, this device you're about to demonstrate. First of all,
Joe, no, hold on. I've never won the U.S. Nationals. I've run it up there, but you did not beat me on the practice tree.
No, I did not. But then again,
he tried, right?
He tried,
but he did not succeed.
Some might call them excuses. I call them reasons. I'll be ready next time. We'll leave it there.
All right. Sorry to interrupt. We can go back to this now.
The important business is out of the way now of who beat who on the practice tree at the show.
Correct.
All right. So, what do you? The incredible tools we have here. So, anyone that's watched Hidden Horsepower and followed Hidden Horsepower knows we talk about profilometers all the time because this is a stylus for the profilometer, and it takes a trace of the cylinder, so it measures the surface roughness. And as we've discussed countless times before, how important it is to have the correct surface finish to maintain load, but also to hold the proper amount of oil, because oil is the gasket between the piston ring and the cylinder wall, and it provides lubrication. So that's really important. And the way we kind of characterize the results are in we call the numbers, like, the RPK, RVK, and RK. Well, the thing is, Joe, those numbers are just a numerical representation of the trace. And the only downside with the old profiler we had is that it was, one, really small on the screen. You really couldn't see it that great. But it also auto-scaled. So it was easier to use the numbers to know what the trace was than look at the picture, because the picture was small, hard to see, and auto-scaled. Now we have software that we can actually have a set scale, so it never changes, and you can see it. But wait, we also have a USB microscope that lets you see the crosshatch angle. So on the same screen, not only do you see the profile, you can also see your crosshatch angle. And this little bad boy can zoom into 270x magnification. So you can actually see if the metal's torn or folded or how clean it is. It's absolutely incredible what you can see with this thing. So not only cylinders, but for deck finishes, you can put on a camshaft or anything.
So if I buy two and I pay the extra handling charge, can I? Do I get the second one free?
No,
you could be on an info commercial. You could be on Sunday night, 2 a.m. I'm telling you, Joe. Do you agree?
Can I cut a tin can with this thing? That's what I need to know. Can I cut a tin can with it?
No. But when you've got people come up to the show and telling us that on surface finish alone, they're seeing up to a 70 horsepower swing.
Right.
Okay, that's a big nut.
That's not adding 70 horsepower. That's taking from where they were down from honing it improperly and then honing it properly, getting the 70 horsepower delta.
Yep, 70 horsepower delta between the worst hone job they had and the best hone job they had on literally the same engine.
Right. 70
horsepower delta. Well, the only way you're going to be able to do that consistently is be able to measure it properly. And this is a measurement tool, this next level. And no one's ever had this before.
Right.
This isn't like, the NASCAR guys have had this for a decade. Like, literally no one's had this until last week.
Going in a Wayback Machine, as Keith would call it, when we first started selling profilometers a decade plus ago, what I always used to explain to people is, so you're going to put your engine together.
Yeah.
When you put the cylinder heads on, do you put them on with an impact? When you put your rods on, do you put them on with an impact? You can do that and your engine will run. No questions asked, correct?
That's true.
But if you're not measuring the stretch of the rod bolt and you're not torquing the cylinder heads, but with a torque wrench or a stretch gauge, whatever tool you're using, you can't qualify what you've done. All this does is qualify your home. That's so without this...
Torque.
Right.
Torque wrench and the stretch gauge, yeah.
Without this, you don't know if you're correct.
100% truth.
So, you can buy the best hone in the world. You go to Rottler, you buy the top of the line hone.
Right.
You can hone it and make a mess out of it, or you can hone it and make the best possible.
Right.
You have to measure it.
Yep. And this is the tools to be able to do it. And that's what was incredible. Literally, we stood there in the booth for 3 days. I don't think I talked about a piston ring once.
Thanks.
Sorry about that. But it was this. This is, like I said, moth to a flame, because when you can see it, it's an absolute game changer.
No, I saw the
too, right?
We do build piston rings.
Well,
we're making a nice home for the piston rings.
Got it.
Right. That's it. The piston rings need a nice home.
Okay.
Because we already make the best piston rings in the whole wide world. We just got to help the cylinder be up to the equivalent of the piston rings we make. Is that better?
Yeah. You see, Joe, this is what happens when you put the two of us together.
No, I noticed you guys were
lost
avoiding
control
each other.
completely.
All right. Now I understand why control is an illusion. Now we do have some people in the chat section. The numbers are coming up. If anybody out there has got a question, Lake says he's going to geek out. Now, Lake, you did give us some photographs, some.
Ooh, show the video, Joe. Show the video.
Okay, I'm going to show.
When you show the video, then the photographs will make more sense.
They will make more sense. Please stand by. We are bringing up the video. We did.
So what you're going to see on this video is you're going to see this machine moving, and you're going to see a section of a cylinder. There you go. Perfect. So that's a section of a cylinder liner that's been honed, and then that thing moving actually has a piece of piston ring in it. So it's simulating the piston ring moving up and down the cylinder wall, just like it does in a real engine. And we can control the speed and the load and the temperature of that setup then we can actually take a profilometer, actually a 3D profilometer, and we can measure that cylinder before and after it's run, and then give you the results. So this is a really incredible piece of equipment that's down at Southwest Research Institute in San Antonio, Texas, which is, I mean, they're the largest independent research lab in the world. And no one's ever done this kind of stuff in our realm before.
No, that's definitely new. The and you speak of Southwest Research. You know, Total Seal basically got its start from Southwest Research.
Really?
So the original concept before Total Seal, before Power Performance International, Joe Moriarty, our founder, which reserved for Joe Senior up there, he actually built a rotary engine all through the 60s, and it was going to go to the OEMs. All of his testing that he did at Southwest Research.
How about that?
So the rotary engine that's sitting right down there in another undisclosed location was actually ran on one of their dynos in the mid 60s.
See, Joe, more things change, more stay the same. Everything comes back around again.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Isn't that cool?
It's amazing. Well, you guys are a technology company, right? You're just doing different things with the technology. Not all technology is digital, and you guys are still doing some stuff.
Well, I was going to say, that's the neat thing about this, is being able to go down to a place like that, do that kind of testing. The results we get back from that are totally game changing because, you know, we've talked about in some of our videos on our YouTube channel, we've been doing some testing with some different coatings. Right? That's one of the unique things about the steel rings that come from Total Seal is that they're coated. Right. You know, there's a lot of steel rings in the world today, but most of them are not coated. And there's a massive difference, Joe, between the wear you can see in that cylinder between a coated ring and an uncoated ring. So if you put some of those pictures back up again, we can kind of give you a walkthrough. So that's one of the coated rings as it's been run. That's the secret new coating we'll talk about later. Go back to the ones where you see that look really ugly. There you go. All right, so that's the good one. Go to the other one where you can see it looks like green. Okay, perfect. All right. So the very top part of that picture there is the unrun part of the cylinder, where on the far right-hand side, where it has that kind of 3D sloping effect, the red is the unrun part of the cylinder, and all the green is the run part of the cylinder, where the ring's been moving.
Right.
So that's the uncoated ring, we'll call it the traditional hone job. Right, now flip back to the other one. All right, you can hardly tell where the wear starts and ends there. So that's changing it up and doing the plateau hone with the coated ring. There's that big of a difference.
Right.
Where the other one's like night and day, you can tell where the wear is. And this one's like, oh, you could obviously see it. You can even see the streaking in there where there's material moving and scoring, where the other one, tell me where that spot is where the ring stopped.
You can't. You
can't see it.
No.
And you can even see it in that little profilometer graph on the side there where there is no change. So that's where, again, being a technology company, we can verify and we can test different coatings and see what they do. So we know that an uncoated one produces tons more wear than the coated ones. Now, Joe, pull that one picture back up where it had the ring where it was kind of gray, but then the one little dark section in the middle, that one. So that's the brand new coating we've been testing, where you can visibly see where it's been run, but the coating's not worn off.
Right.
So that's a new coating that's soft on the outside, but it's hard underneath. So that's a new technology that we're pioneering here right now. You can't even buy it today.
Well, about 8 o'clock last night, I was texting with a pretty high profile pro stock team, and I was explaining to them that we had some new coatings coming their way, and I can't wait to see what they do in a 500-inch engine, because I know it's going to be better. I mean, we see it's better on everything that we've tested it on so far.
Right.
Let's get it into a 500-inch motor. That will be the true test. Yeah, There's nothing more efficient than an NA 500 cubic inch pro stock engine. If it's better there, it's going to be better everywhere.
Exactly. So that's the kind of fun stuff we're doing. Like I said, we want to kind of nerd out a little bit here on our 3rd anniversary, by the way.
Is it really?
This is the 3rd anniversary, 3 years of doing Hidden Horsepower.
That is insane. It seems like yesterday we started.
So the first episode was you and Jason Lyon, right? And Keith. And Joe.
And Joe.
That's right.
PRI.
And I gotta throw, a little credit to my wife. It was her idea that we needed to do some sort of a video podcast, and we kind of, rounding about, we came up with hidden horsepower, and I'm going to throw one more out there. The logo that you see. Kyle Koretsky made that logo for us.
Really? Kyle did?
Yep. So, it's kind of full circle. There's been a lot of people that's involved in our lives that have helped us with this to get it going. But let me tell you, the past 3 years, what you've done with it, what Keith's done with it, and Joe, obviously, from your side in WFO, it's been incredible. The outpouring of support that we get at the trade shows and on the phone is second to none.
Well, there's no other resource like this, right? I mean, credit to Amber for having that great idea to do this, because we've just tried to share as much information as we possibly can. And we've had an incredible guests, from Pat and UC and Jason and Mark. It's a who's who, right? Our guest list. And they've all just been open and willing to share their secrets and talk about why they're successful and all that. And I know from, like I said, the same thing you hear too. People listen to this while they're working, and it's helping them build better engines, which is helping their customers go faster and have longevity and do all the things we always talk about. So it's such an incredible resource for our industry. I'm just happy to be part of it. And it's amazing that it's already been 3 years.
Well, the biggest thing about it is, in the last 4 years since I've basically taken over Total Seal, our number one goal is to educate the customer.
Right.
I believe a well-educated customer will be a customer for life.
Yep.
And I don't care if you're buying a Mala ring, an NPR ring, a Rican ring. You can buy whatever brand ring you wish to buy. We're still going to help you. We're still going to educate you. We're still going to say, pick up the phone, call Total Seal. If you have a problem, we'll help you. And sooner or later, those people that call for help with other brands, because everybody needs help on something, sooner or later, I guarantee you they turn into a customer. Down the road. Once they see that they can call us and get help with no matter whose product it is, they want to come to us the next time they buy. So that's the reason that we want to help everybody, educate the customer, make sure that they make a better and more informed decision about what they're going to buy. The end result will be better. They'll have more horsepower, they'll have more efficiency, and we make a lot of friends along the way.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot of fun, too, by the way.
Speaking of friends, well, it is a lot of fun. First of all,
Dan.
It's very hard work is really what it is. But the educational process, how many guests on the show told us, like back in the day, guys kept secrets from each other, right? You didn't want to tell someone what the secret was and you kept it to yourself. Now it's totally opposite because it's a business and you want people to be successful, not blow their stuff up for the most part, unless you're Ray Barton. Daniel says, congratulations. Little delayed reaction there, Lake. Little delayed reaction, just saying. But we got people with questions. Are you open to questions, guys? Like
sure.
Hava says, I'm getting ready to order my rings, 30 over, small block Chevrolet. I need a gas ported top ring, shim kit to run a thinner ring pack. I bought a rotating assembly, but the pistons I wanted were swapped out in the warehouse. So I guess he's got to call Keith. Isn't that the answer to a question like this?
Keith or Kevin or August or Bobby can help him too. I mean, any of our sales guys are capable of handling that, but that's absolutely a call that we get. I would say at least 2-3 times a day, not maybe that exact engine or combination, but how do I take something that I bought from a warehouse? I want to put a better ring in it. I want to get gas ports in it. I want to put a spacer so I can run a thinner ring. All the things that you've talked about for 3 years to educate the customer of why it's going to make their engine better. So yeah, absolutely. Give us a call and we'll definitely take care of you.
Yeah. Ralph says, how durable is that new coating in a power adder application? So you're already selling, guys. You're already selling. It's not even for sale. Ralph,
it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be good. We've been working on this new technology for about a year or so now. And, your first iterations are never going to be as good as you learn. But in a power adder application, it does work. In fact, the Engine Performance Expo, Joe, you'll be there coming up pretty soon. Yes. We actually snuck this technology into that. I didn't really mention it to anybody, but I did. So that engine makes in excess of 1,200 horsepower, and it's absolutely incredible. The last day we were on the dyno with that engine, we made over 13 runs, over 1,200 horsepower. That was on a 1 millimeter, 2 millimeter ring package, by the way.
Wow.
With this coating. And the reason we know it's durable is we had in-cylinder combustion analysis on all 8 cylinders. So we knew exactly what each cylinder was making.
Now, listen, we don't need to tell everybody everything. I mean, we
gotta stop Strader on that one. That wasn't me. That was Strader doing that.
Yeah. No, it's definitely going to be, that's a great question, because everybody has a different application. They could have a 500 horsepower engine or a 2,500 horsepower engine.
Right.
You know, which coating is going to be best? This being a multi-layered coating is just going to let the ring bed in extremely quick, and then you're going to get all the durability of the hardest coating that you can expect underneath.
Right,
so
exactly.
It's something that we're going to be offering, I would say, mainstream production, you know, within the next, I would say 3 to 6 months.
Yes,
we'll be rolling it out, but it's going to be out there testing in a lot of the, let's just put the top end racing engines in on whether you go in a straight line around corners or a you know, road course.
Yeah.
It will be out there being tested over the next 6 months in the real world.
Exactly.
Guys, Dennis has got a question. Dennis Page, is running a vacuum pump necessary, or is there a solid reason to run one with the advancement of ring seal? And then Dennis, Daniel also wants to know the answer to that question. So this is a question. What about the vacuum pump, guys? Is that still necessary?
It really depends on the application. I mean, if it's an all-out drag race application and, you know, you've got your engine set up for it, you got the, you know, the right clearances on your bearings and your pins and everything else, you know, if you have over 18 inches of vacuum, you have plenty. However, not everybody's going to have an engine that's going to be capable of pulling 18 inches of vacuum. Right. Vacuum is your friend no matter what. However, there's a lot more to it. You just can't take a traditional engine, stuff a vacuum pump on it, and expect good results.
No.
So you got to be really careful with when you're adding, you know, crankcase vacuum to an engine. However, it's never wrong to have it.
Right. Especially if you're trying to make max effort, that's where you're going to make more power by having it. So it is a good thing. But like Matt said, you got to have the whole package together.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that ring seal soup thing, Joe always talk about. It's not the one thing, it's the combination.
8 to 10 inches, you're safe on just about any engine.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have a wet sump engine that you're pulling, you know, 8 to 10 inches on. But if you're going to go more than that, make sure that either you're the engine builder or you've talked to your engine builder about the pros and cons of pulling too much vacuum.
Yeah.
There you go. Lake, you sent a couple of other photographs. I'm going to show you. You tell us a little bit about them, like right here, for instance.
Well, that's just one thing where we're doing the coating testing. We're measuring that ring on liner wear. Not only do you get the 3D profilometer view, is we can take oil samples because it's running in oil. We can analyze the oil and we can see how much wear. That's one of the great ways to know whether or not that coating is durable or not, because we know the metallic elements in the coating. If it comes off, it shows up in the oil analysis.
Yeah.
So it's another tool, you know, like just like this tool back here is for measuring the surface textures and everything. Oil analysis is another tool for telling you what's wearing in the engine. So when you put all of that together, man, it just gives you the 3D picture of what's going on. It's second to none.
And Joe, the really good thing about doing the oil analysis, one, we actually sell the kits here at Total Seal.
True. Yeah.
You can buy them online or you can call here and we can ship them to you. Two, when you get your results back, they're going to be analyzed by him. He's going to be the guy, as we get this whole program off the ground, it's going to be helping with all the analysis. And if anybody doesn't know, he kind of did come out of the oil industry for the last 20 years. So
I am an oil nerd, but I'm brand agnostic, which is the key. Because I don't care what brand of oil you run. We're just going to tell you what's happening in your engine. My love and my passion is engines.
Right.
And we want ring seal. So you need good oil, but you want your oil to be clean. You don't want it to be full of fuel and all that. So we can really help you make your engines run better and last longer by providing all these tools, right?
So we'll start by recommending where you should buy a home.
Yep.
We'll recommend where you should go get the machine work done if you want to have it done.
Right.
We'll recommend the cylinder finishes that you should have.
Yep.
We sell the equipment to test the cylinder finishes that you have. We'll recommend the ring based on your application.
Exactly.
We will recommend the clearances of the ring to the piston and work with your piston manufacturer, regardless of who it is, to make sure that everything is set up correctly. Yep. We'll help you with and without gas ports, depending on if the piston or not. We'll help you whatever end gap you need.
Yep.
We'll provide you with assembly lubes and dry film powders for assembly.
Yep.
All the tools necessary to gap the ring and to install the ring on the piston or into the cylinder. We'll help you after you get the engine running, how to break it in properly.
The whole procedure, right?
And then we'll help you even test your oil when you're done to see if everything worked correctly.
And we have the whole list of all the different oils and what's in them chemistry-wise, so you can choose the right oil based on what ring you have and what your hone is. So we got you soup to nuts, baby. We got you covered. There's no reason to have a problem with your piston rings at all. We got you covered. We know how to do it because we do it for the very best engines in the world. And been doing it that way for a long time.
1967, we were founded.
Yeah.
So we've been around a few years.
Yeah. So
Tremendous. Tremendous. No, it's great stuff. And watching the evolution this year, I know there were some updates over there at the headquarters, new technology machines. You spent a lot of time setting up some new machines. Matt, I don't know if you can talk a little bit about that. That's been out on the social media. I can hear
it running right now.
And we encourage everybody to subscribe on YouTube, but also new people, right? Getting involved with Total Seal as you guys continue to expand. You bring on business, you need more people.
Yeah, we talk about it every day that, we want to have the best people in the business, for whether you're our shipping guy or you're our operations manager or a sales guy. We want to have the best people that we can hire. And we can train anybody to do what we need to do on our shop floor. Yep. The one thing I say, and I say it in every interview, I can't train give a shit.
No, yep.
And if you don't have that, we're not going to hire you and you're not going to last in our facility. I know that sounds pretty rough, but the only people that we want working for us are the people that care about it as much as I do and as much as Lake does. And let me tell you, we have that. We have you walk around on the shop floor, these people, they love what they do. They love turning on the TV, and it doesn't matter what car they see. They know, hey, my hands were on that, or I recognize the name of that team, and I recognize the work order going through the shop. Yeah. These guys and girls have so much pride in what they do that it makes coming to work every day fun. And so, awesome. I feel that we got the best group of people that we could ever have, and we're expanding. We're looking for new machinists. We're looking for new, mid-level managers. We're looking for new salespeople. Right. I mean, and I'm serious. If you're the right type of person and you want to come to work for a company like us, get a hold of Lake. Call us. Let us know. Send us a resume. We are actively looking. We are growing rapidly right now, and we need more good people.
Yeah, and you saw the technology coming in, right, Joe? That same thing. If you're excited about this kind of stuff, excited about that technology, we want you on the team. If you have that racer mentality, like I said, that is going to push, going to drive, going to make something happen, and you want to see the fruits of your labor winning races, winning championships, then you can be here, because we're going to need more people to help deploy these technologies, because people want it. I mean, the phone rings every day. The emails come every day of people who want this technology. We have to be able to supply that technology. So we want the people here that want to be part of that.
We need bandwidth.
Exactly.
And I would imagine that's your wishes for 2023 as we look ahead. Of course, we got to keep going and growing and getting bigger and taking advantages of all the ground that you've covered last year. So look ahead to 2023, guys. Like, what do you see that lies ahead? What are the plans for Total Seal?
Well, we just spent the entire day Monday.
Funny you asked that question, Joe.
With a board meeting and discussing our budget for 23. And I can tell you this, we're on a mission to grow. It's happening today. It's been happening for the last 3 years, and it's gonna continue. So we got a lot of new technology we're gonna be rolling out in 23. We got new equipment. Like I said, we've got new people coming on board to help us, meet our goals that we have, because these are goals that are extremely achievable. Yep. And we're just going to continue adding bandwidth to it, whether it's people, whether it's machines, whether it's technology, whatever it takes to grow to the next level, we're going.
Well, like you said, since Matt took over 4 years ago, the momentum just continues to build. Year over year, we get better and better, more and more progress. And it's exciting. I mean, I can't wait to go to Gainesville, kick off the NHRA season. It's going to be awesome. Joe, I told you this at PRI. It's taken them 3 years, but you bastards have finally won me over to this whole straight line thing. I'm like, I went from being a NASCAR guy to like, man, I got to smell some nitro now.
You don't have to. You don't have to pick one or the other, Lake. You're allowed to like both, and then some, right? Okay. I drag race, but I love Formula One. Of course, I'm a NASCAR fan. And you guys are involved in all of it one way or another. The Trackside Tech Talks at the NHRA in 2022, that was a big deal. We'd experimented, but this was a full season of Trackside Tech Talks at many different races. And from what I gather, it was a great success. Is it translating to actual business at Total Seal?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Even at PRI, I don't answer the phone like the sales guys do all day, but I hear about it. But at PRI, I had so many people say, "Oh, I listened to Keith here, or I listened to Lake here," or even like these podcasts. Yeah. That is translating into educating the customer, which is then translating into sales. Yeah. There is no doubt in my mind, it is the best marketing plan that we've ever had, what we have going and what we're doing moving forward. Yeah. Our goal is to continue educating the customer. And Joe, it's no different than putting you in a Pro Stock car or pulling the covers back on Pro Stock technology. Look how many people come up to you and still want you to change a valve spring based on they've seen you do it one time. It's the more you educate the customer, the more you get them involved, the more that they want to come back and deal with you more.
We know it is. It's, you mentioned earlier, Joe, the old way of keeping all the knowledge to yourself was so compartmentalized. It actually slowed progress.
Right.
Today, with this idea of sharing and being an open community, we're actually making more progress faster. All the boats are rising because we're lifting the tide, because we're all sharing information. We're not trying to keep it to ourselves. It's a completely different approach, but you can see it's actually helping everybody.
And I was scared when we started this. Make no mistake.
Oh, I was
very concerned. Are we going to show too much? Are we going to tell too much? Are we going to do things that's going to, basically hurt our business? Mm-hmm. It's done the exact opposite. And that's why it's full steam ahead. Keep educating.
I figured for certain, once we did about probably 3 or 4 of these podcasts and did some videos, I'm blackballed. I'm done. They'll never let me in a shop ever again. Right. But that's not the case. They're inviting me into shops now because everyone sees that we're all learning faster together and everyone's getting better quicker.
Yes.
So it's a good thing.
Well, that attitude of sharing information, and there will always be some cutting edge. Matt mentions the valve spring. I still have the valve spring that I changed here in my own studio. People ask me about that all the time. Like, how on earth are you guys able to show that information? I was like, well, listen, I was just changing a valve spring. The technology involved.
What race was that, Joe? Do you remember? I do.
Atlanta?
Nope.
Was it Atlanta? Yeah, it was Atlanta.
Nope.
They did the valve spring?
Richmond.
Oh, Richmond.
I believe you.
We did it before first round, and I lost first round, and you were petrified that it had something to do with you changing the valve spring.
Yeah, it's all coming back to me now, Matt. Yeah, exactly.
That's why you haven't done it again, Joe.
Probably. And at Dallas, you let me fire up the car, which was very frightening, but the car survived on that one. Packed a parachute.
Did we won Dallas. Didn't we win Dallas? I think so.
Yeah, so no valve change, but you can start the car though.
That's right.
Okay.
That's it. Well, the audience is clamoring for me to do a burnout at some point. It's not up to me, of course, audience, but that's what they are all saying. The people that talk to me,
you're going to do a burnout in your car when we get the engine rebuilt. So
there you go.
Stennett and us are going to work together, and we're going to rebuild Joe's engine.
Perfect.
Yep. So we can get his dad in the car, and do the whole thing, so his dad can see the car run again.
That'll be great. That's good.
Very exciting.
We're building community.
I suppose he's going to want rings for this.
He probably will.
Yeah.
I have to work on this budget for that one. Yet another revision. Don't worry about it. That's not your issue.
The words "greatest marketing plan" were used very recently, and so I think it's all working out. We are recording this, guys. We got people out there watching. People that are not even in the engine building but learning so much. They're interested. Like that's the thing. Did you expect that there would be an audience who aren't engine builders, the tech people who just want to learn about something? Did you think
No. If you told me that a video of me and Greg Anderson honing my dad's block would have had more than 5,000 views, I'd been like, who in the world is going to watch that, right? There's not more than 5,000 engine shops. Right. So who cares? That video has like 150,000 views. I'm like, what? This is crazy. Who are these people?
You're going to have to get your picture. You can go and you can start signing autographs.
It's insane, but it's great though. I mean, we love it. It's wonderful that people care or are interested. It shows that there are so many other people who are horsepower addicts and love horsepower, not just us.
Right.
Interesting. Speaking of Greg Anderson, I just want to take a second to play this great video that we got earlier this year about the tech. Is there something worth Greg Anderson watching a Total Seal Tech Talk at the pit area? You seem to observe. So you tell me that area that they talk about, is there something worth learning? Because I'm going to take this clip of audio right now and play it tomorrow.
I will tell you from the bottom of my heart, Joe, did I learn something that day that I listened to that first seminar? You darn tootin' I did. I absolutely did. And it has helped me in my race program. And thank you, Lake. Thank you, Keith. Thank you, Matt Hartford. And all the Total Seal guys. Thank you to all the Rottler guys. I've now got a beautiful new Rottler CNC hone in my shop that, I'm not going to lie. It's helped my project. It's helped my program. And I learned that day that I listened to those guys, maybe we are missing something here. So, yeah, I can't lie. And I probably shouldn't have told the world that, but it is the truth. It has absolutely helped my program. I'm not going to deny it. And I thank all those guys for what they've done and what they are doing. And yes, anybody that gets a chance to sit in on one of these seminars, don't miss it.
Wow. You could have said about that. Okay, guys. And now I know you guys, your camera is getting ready to die, batteries, holidays, all that stuff. But how about that as a big finish? GA, a 5-time champ. Lake, you guys, you helped advance.
You can't say better than that, right? I mean, that's the best endorsement possible.
There you go. All right, wrap it up, guys. I know you're limited on energy.
Well, I'm just going to say, basically, Merry Christmas to everybody. Thank you for everybody that's been a customer, whether it's your first time purchasing or you've been buying since 1967. We truly appreciate it. We value each and every one of you. We look at our entire customer base as our family.
Exactly, yeah. So Merry Christmas, everybody.
There it is. All right. You got some people calling in. Daniel says they've got a compressed air engine. They need new rings. They will be calling you guys.
Perfect.
Matt, thank you very much.
We do a lot of that.
Yeah, exactly. And Merry Christmas. Everybody is happy. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. We'll see you on the other side. Lake, Matt, great job as usual. Really appreciate all that you guys have done. I've learned a lot as well. Got the Big Engine Performance Expo coming up January 13th and 14th. We'll be streaming that. Yep. Lake and I will be together. Good stuff. Matt, great job reacting for Race to Save Our Race Cars at PRI. Great stuff. And appreciate all you guys do. Merry Christmas.
All right. Thanks, Joe.
See you, Joe.
There they go. Lake Speed, Matt Hartford with us here. And we just invite you all to subscribe to the podcast. As much as we're trying to get people to know and understand that there's so much performance in Ring Seal, we do a lot of it through an entertaining podcast called Hidden Horsepower, the YouTube channel, another great place to get a lot of information. That video that Lake talked about Greg Anderson honing his own father's block and picking up horsepower just from the Ring Seal and the hone. That is amazing stuff. Go check it all out. I know everybody's refreshing their engines. They're all getting ready to go here at the end of the year. And I just want to say thank you so much. Appreciate everybody. And we wish you a very Merry Christmas. Happy Hidden Horsepower. Presented by Total